I'm going to be showing you exactly how easy it is to trade indices, specifically synthetic indices, using just price action. It's also easy that some people literally characterized it under the category of free cash. That is, you can literally see traders who just don't like a lot of stress simply rush down to synthetic indices to pick free cash. And of course, I'm not saying that after this video you will never take a single loss again. But what I'm trying to say is that you will see the exact trading strategy to use now for massive dangerous results. And so you don't think we're just talking. We'll be using this exact concept now I'm about to show you to analyze the chart. And that's not all. We'll be dropping this trade live now for over 28,000 traders to join. And everything will be happening right now. But then just before we go on, if you're new to this YouTube channel, just remember to hit on subscription button, hit on like button, and also remember to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that will be dropping out from this place. So that not to waste so much time, let's dive in. Boom. All right. Okay, guys. So this is exactly what's happening correctly. Now, this will literally be one of the easiest of videos we've ever done. That's to show you exactly how easy what we're about to look at is now. Now, I just need three simple concepts. Number one, I need to watch out for the trend. That's the first rule. That's the very first principle when dealing with any synthetic index at all. But then what we'll just be using here today will just be a crash 300. So just exactly the concept that works on crash 300 will work on crash 500, work with boom 1000 and crash 1000 and any synthetic index you can think about. It doesn't just work with synthetic indices, it also works with stock indices like a US 30 and your NASDAQ and all the stock indices you can think about, right? Now, the principle is just usually generalized among indices, right? Okay, let's look at this now. Now, the very first concept I told you is a trend, right? So we must make sure that a trend is actually following the position we want to go in. Now, the very first thing we can see here is that this particular chart is on an uptrend, even without drawing anything. You can see it, right? But let's draw it just in case for some of us, right? You can literally see this stuff is going up, right? So it's on an uptrend. Good. That's the first stuff we are looking at. Now, the second stuff we're looking at is what we call horizontals. Now, horizontals are actually so important when it comes to synthetic indices. Extremely important. Once a horizontal is broken, it pushes out, come back to give a retest, it continues going up. Or when a horizontal is dropping down, it drops down, pushes back up, gives a retest, it keeps dropping down. Or horizontals, it can easily just push a horizontal and not even come for a retest because it's not a breakout, right? It's just a horizontal that was crossed, right? If it's a breakout, then it has to drop down to give a retest. So horizontals can come with a retest or without a retest, and that's what makes synthetic indices so interesting also. And that's two. Now, the last one, which is the third one, is what we call a breakout. Now, these are just the three things. We need first a trend to be defined. Number two, we need to define our horizontal levels. Number three, we need to define when a real breakout occurs. Now, that's just all we'll be applying currently on this particular spot. Okay, let's look at the chart now. Okay, now we've defined the first principle. This on an uptrend, we already defined that. Now, the second stuff we're looking at now are our horizontals, right? Now, what do we notice at about the spot? We notice that this particular horizontal was broken, and so it had to drop down first, right? It dropped down, and then this particular level pushed it back up, right? And then when it crossed the horizontal again, what do you notice? It started pushing back up, right? It didn't even get back to this spot. You can see it just kept pushing up. Now, if we try mapping out this horizontal again, what do you notice? It kept playing here, and when it broke this horizontal, it started dropping down towards level, right? It's actually very straightforward. Okay, now what do we notice again at about the spot, right? We're not even using anything trend line, we're just drawing horizontal, right? Now, what do you notice at about the spot, right? We notice that it hit the spot, pushed up, hit the spot, pushed up. It kept repeating the same stuff, right? Okay, let's try extending that again. Let's extend it. Now, what do we notice? We notice that this particular stuff was playing around. Sorry, I have to draw a trend line now. We notice that this trend line was actually playing around like this, just in case for some people that might not get it, right? So this is actually a mini trend line that was actually occurring at about the spot, and it's actually forming what we call a triangular formation, right? Okay, so it was playing up like this and pushing, and then suddenly what do we notice? It was moving around this particular level. Okay, let me take this out again so you can understand what I'm saying. You notice that this particular stuff, they are all equal, right? You can see it, they are all equal, meaning that everything as regards the chart is very stabilized. Look at it. It hit the spot, drops down, hit the spot, drops down. It's very stabilized at about this level. But then what happened here? Boom, boom, the stability broke out, right? You can literally see the stability broke out. Let me try removing this so you can see what I'm talking about. Drag this down. You can see it was moving like this, and suddenly the stability suddenly disappeared. Let me draw that out. Can you see that? It was playing like this, suddenly the stability suddenly disappears, and then it pushes up like this. Good. Now this is where the chart became so interesting, right? It became so interesting when this occurred. Now immediately something like this occurs, two things can happen. It's either it just keeps pushing up after the stuff, it just keeps pushing up and never drops back down and just starts pushing up. Now if that happens, then well, it's okay. But then if it drops back down this time around, trying to come back to this level, then it's finished. You just know that the chart wants to give you free cash, and that's why I told you synthetic indices is actually so straightforward. Now look at this. It dropped down now to do what? To hit this particular level, the original spot, right? Now the fact that it pushed up and hit this level, this spot became our second touch, and yet became the first, right? Because this was the very last touch, or this was the last spot it actually hit before coming to form this particular stuff, right? So this becomes the first, this becomes the second. Now immediately as these two forms, now I'm just waiting for the third one. And if you don't miss any of our videos, you are always following up with our videos, you don't miss any of the series, right? It means by now you are so developed and so advanced that you know what will happen in this place, even without me saying it, right? Because you've been so consistent with our videos, you should already know what will happen here. And what will happen, this is the third touch, right? And what happens on third touches, it can either drop down, break that level and starts dropping down, or it can take off, right? In our case, because we already defined that this stuff is on an uptrend, where do you think it will go? Now those that are always following up with our videos, they already know the direction. It's just going to push up, right? Because it's already on an uptrend, right? And then we had the first touch, second touch, third touch that usually pushes the chart. The chart is on an uptrend, right? And then these synthetic indices, it's always respect horizontal levels, always respect it. And so because of that, if we measure horizontal level, we'll measure it with our trend line, then we'll measure it with our third touch. So what do you think is going to happen? It's just going to take off from that region, right? It's just going to take off and just leave this particular spot. And so having defined that, we just had to wait a little bit. Remember, if you notice, I didn't start this video very early, right? We had to wait a little bit more. The reason why I waited was because of this exact formation. Another horizontal, right? You can see it actually pushed up like this. And remember the rules of horizontal, it can either come back down to give a retest, or it can just keep pushing, because it's not a breakout. It's just the horizontal that got broken, right? It's just a horizontal. So in this case, what do we notice? A horizontal just broke out from that spot. So what do you think we can do now? Can easily stop into this particular trade, right? That's already our entry point, right? And so if we're placing our stop loss, where can we place it? We can easily place it at about the spot. And why are we placing it at about that spot? Because they can be a retest after horizontals. It's not compulsory, but they can be, right? So we'll just place our stop loss just at about this region, because even if this stuff comes for a retest also, it will stop maybe at about this region and just continue going up. So either way, we're very safe. So guys, this particular video will be very short. Let's actually storm into this particular trade now. So guys, just like I told you, we won't be going into this particular trade alone. I will be dropping it right now. First, of course, I'll just drop it in the private channel first, of course, naturally. And then after that, we'll just also drop it in the free, right? Since we're recording. Okay, so what I'm just going to do now, crash 300, crash 300, crash 300, buy push. So we'll just quickly drop this trade there, right? So we'll just quickly draw it since we've analyzed it together already. And that should be TP1. I'm going to show you the TPs now. Let me just quickly send it since the chart is moving, it's not waiting. And that will be TP2. All right, all right. And okay, at TP3, let's just place a TP3 to be all right, good. All right, good. Hey guys, so this is exactly what you're having. So I already dropped it in the private channel. Now I'm just going to drop it also in the free, just after a few minutes, not long, just after a few minutes. I also drop it in the private in the free channel also. Let's storm into this particular trade also now, guys. Okay, so we'll just be using, let's just say we'll just be using a lot size of we're not trying to flip any account or anything, right? We're just trying to storm into trades. So let's just use 2 lot sizes. Let's see, that's 6 to 1 match. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And in case you are asking or you're wondering about the broker, I already dropped the link to the broker in the description box. And in case you're wondering about what time frame we're using, we're actually using the 15 minutes time frame. That's M15. That's what we're using currently to analyze the chart, right? So I already dropped I already dropped it. Just like I said, the broker already dropped everything in the description box, so you can easily just check it out if you actually want to be part of this broker for synthetic indices. Okay, so we're using like 2, that's like 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're using 8 lot sizes in total, right? So that's exactly what we're using currently on a crash 300. Okay, let me just quickly show you our take profit levels now. Good. So for our levels now, this is exactly what we're having. First of all, of course, this particular spot can be a first take profit level, but it's actually too low, so we won't make a lot of cash. So we just make this particular spot a first take profit level, right? Just at about the spot, and then a second take profit level, I just give it maybe like just 100 pips around that range, 50, 100 pips around that range, just a little bit above it, right? So that's what I did. And then after that, I just increase it to maybe like 70. So I just multiply my pips by I just multiply my pips by like 2, 3 or so, and then that's exactly how I just set it. But then this is actually a highest level. So if we want to track this out, it will make more sense like this. Now you understand what I'm trying to say. So I just place, because this is the highest level, there's no other place to place our take profit, and this particular spot hit a third touch, and you know that third touch, the movement is always extremely massive. So if we want to place a take profit, we'll be looking at our first level, which is here, of course, and then we'll be looking at this spot to be maybe our second take profit, and this particular spot to just be a third take profit. So I just actually multiply the pips and just dropped it like that, knowing fully well that all our TPs should be hit. This particular trade is actually a clean one, so I'm expecting everyone to actually cash out. So after a few minutes, maybe just after a first take profit or before a first take profit, I don't know, I'll drop it also on the free, also like that. So yeah, so guys, we can literally just go and chill and come back later to actually check out the trade.
One eternity later.
Boom. Okay guys, so this is exactly what we're having currently. So this is literally very smooth, guys. This is just really smooth. So guys, let me tell you something. Right now, I was actually thinking that this particular stuff at this particular level will literally drop down, right? Because look at it, we actually had a bearish engulfing at about the spot, but then you'll be imagining, why didn't you just leave this trade? The reason why I didn't leave it is because there was already a hook at about the spot, right? There was already a hook. And then if you've gone through our MC100 class, you should understand what I'm talking about here. This would just take a lot of time to explain. I would have loved to explain it now, but it just take a lot of time. But the MC100 students, they actually understand what I mean by a hook here at about this region. So that's exactly what occurred at about this spot. And we made last I saw that, I didn't even mind. I was just expecting to come break the hook at about this spot, and then if it breaks it, then I know that that's it, the video is done, right? But then that's actually very smooth. And I was just looking at 5k also. It actually just hit a 5k smoothly like that, and it's actually getting late also. So we literally started this video very early, and then it's actually kind of like late now already. But then I dropped the trade in the free just towards at about this region, right? Was it this region? I think so, just towards this particular region. That was where I actually dropped this particular trade. So you can check on the Telegram, the free group. This trade is actually there. I actually dropped it, so everyone actually stormed into this particular trade. Because I don't know how many percentage of people stormed into this trade, but I will check out the screenshot later and know the amount of people that actually went into this particular trade. But we actually dropped it, and so from there it actually just hit all our take profit, because our last TP was just towards this region, if I'm not mistaken, towards this region, right? Yeah, towards particular region. That was where our last TP was at, towards particular region. So yeah, so I just kept holding the trade until it got to this particular time, guys. I just kept holding the trade. And if you check on Instagram, I actually posted this exact trade also there. I actually posted it. So if you just check on the Instagram stories under the pips or so session, you should actually find it also. I actually posted this exact trade there also. That's early morning when we just stormed into this particular trade. Okay guys, so that just as particular so actually goes. Let's zoom off this particular trade now, guys. Currently we're actually having just roughly 5.7k, guys. Just roughly 5.7k. That was actually very smooth, because we're having just roughly 600 bucks. That was what we're having just now, and now we're actually running over 5,000 bucks smoothly, just like that. Boom. Okay guys, so that just how particular so actually goes. If you're new to this particular YouTube channel, just remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that I'll be dropping out from this place. So that just how particular so actually goes, guys. So bye from guys, I'm Mr. P. Peace.